Hello. So I'm starting this transmission at 12:22 and I'm back in Europe, so I'm looking at a clock in military time, which is also well, it's 22:22, so my phone clock is 12:22 and then the clock here is 22:22. The wind has been so strong, like the last hour or two. I tried to get a video. I just saw an orb. And the video did not really work out, but I was speaking in the last transmission on the Adriatic Sea. I was standing right in front of, and I don't remember if I said swift changes, but there was something about change, and now this wind is just giving me that like moving direction, fast energy. Whew. As soon as I said that, my head just started to truly hurt. I want to say almost like a circular pattern of pain. So I'm tapping into the pain body. Yeah, like the crown of the head. If you were to like cut a circle on top, that is like the trace of pain that I felt. Really interestingly, I have this like blue, like light blue, it's either silk or satin. I can't remember which one. It's actually to curl your hair. You like wrap your hair around it, but it never worked for me, but I just love sleeping with it. I don't know. I kind of just wrap it around my head very lightly. It's never given me a headache before, but it's not right now either. It's just kind of tracing around there because it's like so lightly on my head. And that was definitely energetic because I could feel that moving in. The solar energy has been like the geomagnetic storms, solar flares. We've been having these, if you're not familiar, maybe some of you are already tuned into this, but these, I'm getting like all of these, almost like I can't breathe for a minute, like waves of frequency just moving through. So there could be some, what some people call Ascension symptoms, Ascension flu right now. In particular, intrusive thoughts. So when I was flying the other day, I was getting the most like, just like intrusive thoughts. And I just kept being like, this doesn't feel like me. Like, so I would just kind of observe the thoughts and just breathe and send some love sort of thing, and allow for any transmutation and optimization I was calling in. I was doing a lot of like collective grid work while I was flying. It's interesting because usually I feel like I have longer layovers, but this time I was like in the air for most of it. Like my layovers were so fast. In fact, so fast that I was by a thread. I almost missed I took 3 flights and I almost missed my connecting flight from, the places feel significant too. I flew from Philadelphia, or Philly, where I'm from, to Chicago, which is like kind of backwards. And then from Chicago to Zurich, Switzerland. And then from Switzerland to Croatia. And then took a bus from Croatia to Montenegro. So there's something about like patterns, like flight patterns are coming through. And working with the grids, and when I almost missed my flight, and I'm talking like I got to the gate in Chicago to board to fly to Switzerland, like they were on the last couple boarding, they call groups for boarding. There were like 2 or 3 groups left, and so I was so close to missing my flight. And in fact, the line for security was so long through this connect, because it was such a short connection, and it's a very long story, but the point is, I never used that thing clear before that you see in airports now. And I looked at the security line and I was like, it was at least like 45 minutes. And I was like, my flight is taking off. Like I'm just going to miss this flight. And like the craziest part would be like, you know, if you miss a flight in Europe, it's like, okay, it's not ideal, but you get another one. But like from Chicago to Switzerland, like that would have been very difficult to maneuver, especially with not a very big budget that I'm working with right now at all. So anyway, I just sat for a second. I looked at the line and I said, all right, if I'm meant to get there, let's make this happen. And within a second, a man turned around and was like, would you like to try Clear for free? And I was like, I'm not even sure it's worth it. Like my flight is about to leave. And the guy was like, come right this way. I mean, I've heard that they get you if you don't cancel quickly. So I'm on that, but got me right through security. And I got to the gate, like I said, with like a few minutes just to spare before they closed the gate. Anyway, energetically, that just feels like a significant thing. And I've been speaking a lot about like expect the and I am so tongue-tied for this energy right now. In the solar energy too that's coming in, the solar storms, if you will, I've noticed, like when I watch other people talk about the reports, I always say to myself, like, I'm going to start like checking in on the reports, including like the Aurora Borealis and just other geomagnetic activity. But like, it just so happens that I feel so in tune with it that like when I need a message, without even like thinking about it too much, I just like tune in and I'll hear something, and then something will literally just show up on my feed that's always in alignment with what I feel. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm very grateful for that. And I always try to like, you know, give love to those who are doing it and support them. But anyway, I've noticed a lot of like the color white in much longer sequences than I've seen in the past. So yeah, this like, I'm being shown like angelic consciousness. A lot of us say like the angelic realms. But yeah, to me, that's what it feels like. It's like this angelic consciousness. And when I say angelic consciousness, it's like I was talking about in the transmission before, of what some people call like the original crystalline blueprint or the original source code, the highest divine timeline of the human and earth and all of its beings. And I've been saying for years that the more that those of us who feel connected to whatever you want to label it as, inner earth, Telos, Agartha, these interdimensional spaces and places, and we reconnect through however it is that we connect. That's like a whole separate transmission that I could totally do. But what I've been getting for years now is like the Schumann resonance is continuing to expand, and the solar frequencies are coming in a more expansive frequency range, because our consciousness, those of us who are plugged into this, are like co-creating this experience. So we're bridging these realms, these capabilities that I believe humans are capable of, by restoring and re-encrypting the original crystalline DNA blueprint and the angelic consciousness. So yeah. Oh, but back to the headache. I believe there's an expression, crown of thorns, and when my head is hurting and it's like in a circle, I keep getting an image of this like crown of thorns. I'm not exactly sure, honestly, like where that's from. But I feel it. And again, the intrusive thoughts. And I keep losing my breath, so some of you may be feeling like winded.
Do you ever get some messages? You can't tell who's serious and who's just wasting your time.
I have an ad on YouTube. Yeah, okay, it's like as soon as I tap out of the energy, I can breathe again, but when I'm tapped in, I keep getting these like chest tightening Anxious. Yeah, intrusive thoughts, head pain. So just know if you are experiencing any of this, body tenderness, aches. This won't be for everyone, but for some of you, you may have had experiences, especially within the last year, but it really could be anytime, of some sort of like health issue or I was talking about this recently, like a near-death experience. Like there could be something that like really like slowed you down in a way. For very few of you, this may be something that is happening right now or coming up. For a lot of you, I feel like it's already passed, but I've been getting these recurring messages of another wave of ascension coming in, another wave of, some people coming into this awareness for the first time in this lifetime, if you want to call it like their first awakening. And then again, those of us who are already tapped into this, having like a purification and a deepening of this already. But those who so I've been getting that energy and that channel for a little while now. And then when I started seeing that white energy on these Schumann resonance reports, especially the last few days, that just really confirmed for me what I've been feeling, because I've been getting that so strongly. So this next ascension wave is doing its thing. So and if you're not experiencing some of these symptoms, I just felt like a pinprick, or what I call pinprick, what is a prink, or on my what I call a pinch pulse on the outside of my right ankle, a little bit higher than the ankle bone. It was very intense though, so that could be significant, that area, for someone. I'm seeing pins as well. Again, my breath, like it's really if you're someone who's having these experiences, especially with the breath, and nostril breathing, being shown nostril breathing, slowing down your breathing the best you can. I know when you're in panic, it's a little bit hard to do that. Something I used to tell when I was doing more one-on-one client sessions, for people who have like a lot of fast moving energy, or like fast mental plane energy, or like a hard time slowing down breathing, is actually working with the breath of fire and breathing really fast through your nostrils. Breath in and then just if you're not familiar with it, of course. If you're already familiar with it, there's something about utilizing the breath of fire. It's a really good detoxifier and purifier that can help, because sometimes when you're in that really fast like anxiety or like shortness of breath, it can be harder to slow yourself down. So this kind of like helps empty that out it's already in a fast pace. Of course, I don't do it very fast when I do it slow, but it's still that like constant exhale that really helps to rebalance. There's some stipulations with working with the breath of fire, so just make sure that you do your research, of course, if you're not familiar. It's recommended not to use it if you're on your moon cycle, and there's some other things just to be mindful of, but I've been taking so many notes the last week or so, and my notes are just like flooding with information. So I feel like I'm being guided this couple days starting today to just do these like a couple shorter mini transmissions, because these different waves are coming in through this like one big wave, but then there's like these undercurrents of frequency that are streaming in. But something that caught my attention, you could be having like insect and or spider visits, whether physically, in dreams, symbolically. It just feels like there's a ramp up of bugs, spiders, and I was trying to write the word visits earlier, bug, spider visits, but it kept autocorrecting to virus, so that could be like very significant for someone. And I feel like I keep like eating my words, or like stumbling on my words. So that's definitely coming through. Seahorses. So I was shown seahorses, and right before I got to Montenegro, and I was reminded of a card from the White Light Oracle deck of Alana Fairchild, my first Oracle deck ever, Shaktipat of Seahorse, and it talks about relax and attract. Like, the more you relax, the more your desires and manifestations will attract to you. There's something about the way the seahorse finds food, and it like kind of floats along the current, and then as it does, the food kind of floats by, and then it takes the food. And of course, they say seahorses are like one of the only species, I'm pretty sure, that the male carries the babies. So there's some significance to these things from the symbology. But of course, please take anything that comes to you also regarding the seahorse. But when I was having a little bit of doubt or anxiety about coming to Montenegro on a limited funds experience without a plan, I was shown the seahorse, like I said, multiple times, and I was just like remembering that oracle card. And so when I got here today, I unexpectedly went into the old town of Budva, which I wasn't planning on doing that at all. It just kind of last minute happened that way. And when I got there, the whole old town is like covered in seahorses. And I was like, of course they are. Seahorses like on signs. Yeah. So there could be something like that. Not only is the symbology speaking to you, but you may be seeing something in your reality that's like what I call quantum seeding. It's like seeding, whatever, for my, like the example I just gave, the seahorse. So when you do something or say yes to something or say no to something or whatever it is for you, it's like showing up in your reality as a like breadcrumbing confirmation. The number 1717 has been coming through a lot. 17, for some reason, always connects me into the Pleiadian frequency. So you could be tapping into like the Seven Sisters, Pleiadian consciousness in some way. I'm seeing like icy blue. Interestingly, you may also be seeing repeating fours. And the word rich has been following me for the last 2 days, especially today. I must have heard the word rich. I can't even tell you how many times. So someone's name could be rich. The idea of feeling rich, rich foods. Like I just heard delicacy, becoming rich in, whatever that means to you. Usually like wealth comes out. But I've been hearing rich. And then I even heard another YouTube person talk about the word rich, and she said the same thing. She's like, usually I say wealth, but like I had already been seeing the word rich. And then she said that, and I was like, that's exactly what's going on. So, yeah. Whew. Also, the song, I haven't heard the song in so long. I can't even tell you how long it's been. I went through my Motown phase where I listened to a lot of Motown. In fact, it's been a while, and this song popping back in my head makes me want to, maybe tomorrow I'll listen to some Motown. But Imagination by the Temptations was in my head all day. And when I looked up the meaning, it like sparked something in me. And it's about like this man who allegedly hasn't met this person that he's like daydreaming about and creating a life with. And it just reminded me of the idea of like visualization and manifestation, so there's something about your imagination being very rich right now, and or you're stepping into this. So they say like choose and use it wisely, not saying that you're not, just a way to keep going, or if those intrusive thoughts like I mentioned earlier are really ramping up right now, to just do your best like the seahorse and like watch it ride by like a current, and do whatever it is that gets you back in your body. If you feel you're doing everything you can, then just know that this is truly a collective experience, and hopefully that can help soothe, because what I'm hearing is not so much the thoughts that are coming in, but like, how are you reacting or not reacting, you know? Are you able to, and like reaction time. So like maybe before this would happen, and then like you would have, for example, like days of being thrown off kilter. Now, when it happens, like I'll use myself as an example, that is something that used to occur for me. And now, like that time I just mentioned the other day, I'm being on a plane and having this experience. I just tuned in, I asked what was going on, and I was shown especially when I was flying in public, and I was like, you know, pretty exhausted. I was doing my best to like keep my energy balanced, but like it was just a very tiring travel experience. And I was shown like with the exhaustion and up and down on the planes and stuff, like the veil between myself and the collective was very thin. And so plus, you know, it said that when you start to expand in some way, that it's possible, just opposing forces, right? The natural. Someone might have a speech impediment. That's very specific, but, or maybe you just watch something with someone with a speech impediment, or you know someone that just came through. Yeah, opposing forces, that natural dualistic experience may start to ramp up, you know, when you're about to like elevate in some way. So, yeah. But yeah, really utilizing that rich imagination in the best way that you can. Deer could be significant for some of you. Yeah, there's something about like gentleness. And now I'm hearing ram. Oh yeah, there's like Aries new moon that's happening right now. So this like seed of new beginning in a fiery. So there's just something about like bridging the gentleness and that fiery side, you know, leaving space for all of that to exist. Okay, I will leave it there. Thank you.